So hi, I hope you have watched my part 1 of this module 1. Now we will learn how users work in Linux and how administrators change their identity safely to perform tasks. This is essential for security and proper system management. Talking about the user types, we have root, regular users and system users. Root users, UID 0. These guys have full control of system. Root can read, write, and delete any files and run any command. Think of root as a system administrator account, the main account. Then I got my regular users. Limited permissions based on assigned groups and roles, meaning it's a normal accounts for people. They have limited permissions and can only do what their groups and permission allows. Next one is our system user. Special account used by various services like SSD, Apache, MySQL to run process. These are not for human logins. Simple. The first one is your root user, the main admin control. Then I got the regular user, normal account for people. This is for services to access your Linux machine, to run some processes. These are not for human beings. Okay. Next, we will talk about the privilege escalations. SU versus sudo. SU means switch user. When you type SU, it switches to the target user, often root, and load that environment. I mean the user environment. It requires the target user's password. Example, root's password. When you use SU, you become the other user completely. Less accountability if not logged in properly. Talking about sudo means run as another user. See, SU means your entire Linux login will change to some other's login. Now, what if I want to run some small command pretending to be somebody else? On that case, we have to use sudo command. Run as another user. Okay. Let's a permitted user execute individual command with a elevated privileges. Maybe I want to run one or two commands. For that, I don't want to do entire switchover, right? I can run by using this sudo command. It usually requires your password, not the root password. Logs command when who ran them, good for auditing purposes. So it's configured via /etc/sudoers. Edit safely using vi sudo. Next, we'll talk about the useful flags and commands. SU. SU means switch to root and load root environment. Sudo's place command mean run a single command as root and another user. Sudo -i means start an interactive root login shell similar to SU hyphen but with sudo logging. Vi sudo safely edit etc/sudo ears. Check syntax before saving. Example, sudoers line, show this line in class. So I can show you the class, the output of this particular line. You can see, I can show you that sudo vi etc sysconfig network scripts /ifcfg -e0. It is used to edit the network configuration. Okay. Next is your best practices. Very, very important. Okay. Best practices. See, avoid logging in directly as root. It's risky and makes auditing harder. Prefer sudo over SU because sudo provides an audit trail and more granular control. Use vi sudo to configure sudoers because it prevents syntax errors that can block out admin access itself. Limit pseudo privileges to only require commands. Don't give full command to everyone. Next, I can show you the real-time example here. So a system admin need to change network config files. He will log in as a regular user like admin user with a command called, this one you can see, with the command called sudo vi, the command I mentioned over there. This opens the file with elevated privileges for editing. If many admin tasks are needed, then I simply go with sudo I. Simple. When you finish typing, simply type exit. That's it. Now is your lab activity. So log into your Linux machine right away and let's do this activity, guys. So first one, to show the current username, I use a command, who am I? Then I enter su hyphen, it's going to ask me for a password. It switches a root after entering root's password. Hyphen loads root environment. See even this dash line, it's going to load the root environment. Here you can see the UID confirms that you are the root, saying UID is 0. UID 0 means you are the root. Next, we got our logout keyword. It leaves the root shell and returns to the regular user. Then you can use the command sudo cat/etc/shadow. So sudo runs the cat command as a root. You can see shadow file entries only possible with elevated rights. This output, what you're seeing, is not possible by the normal users. See, please listen to me very carefully. Viewing /etc/shadow reveals password hashes. Only admin should access it and only when it is really necessary. Clear? So these are the understanding of what are different types of user types, privilege escalations, best practices with a small lab setup. Now we'll jump to the next session or next part. All right, everyone. In this session, we're going to learn about how to get help in Linux using three main tools. One, man, info, and help. Simple. Let's say man, nothing but the manual page. Man, nothing but manual pages organized by section. Let's start with the man, which stands for manual pages. When you type man space ls, it opens the documentation or user manual for the ls command. Now look here. At the top, it says ls1. ls1. The number is in bracket, indicating the manual section. Section 1 means user command. Section 5 means it's for configuration files. Section 8 is for system administration commands. Let's see one by one. When I type man ls, I see, then you press the space bar to go to the next page. B to go back, Q to quit the manual. Okay. So hit the space bar to the next page, B for going back, and Q for quit the manual. Next, navigation through shortcuts. Then you got, info and hyphen help also. Let's see what is info and the help, hyphen help. So just for recap, section 1 means user command, 5 configuration files, 8 system admin commands. Next, we'll talk about info commands, detailed GNU documentation. See, it's more detailed than man and includes hyperlinked section also, especially for GNU commands. Let's try this one. I have mentioned info space CP. Inside this, you can use enter to open the link, N for next session, P for previous session, U to go up one level, and Q for quit. It feels like reading a mini book. Very useful if you want to understand a command in depth. Now I got my Linux machine up and running. I host my Linux machine in AWS Cloud. Let's run out these commands now in the real time. So first of all, I run the command who am I? This says I am EC2 user. If you want to go to super, type su hyphen and you have to enter the password. As of now, I'm not going to go there. So these are the basic output. Let's understand this concept again on using man, info, and help button. So I type man space ls. So this is a lot of information. I see here ls1 it means user command. If I see section 5, that will be configuration files. Section 8 again for system admin commands. Now I have to, on the keyboard, you have to click space bar. See here, space bar for next page. One by one page, you can move. Now if you want to simply quit or go back, for going back, press B. B means back button. It's going to go back. See, from the beginning. Now, if you want to come out of it, press Q. No enter nothing. Enter Q. That's all. Okay. So that's how you use this particular man command. Next command is your info command. Let's see how much information I get using info command. So I type info space CP. Enter. Here you can see it says bash info command not found. Oh, sorry. That's a good error. It says that I forgot installing the bash on the new machine because the old machine I didn't launch yet. So this because you just need to install package that provides info command. See, we have to run this following command in the root. If you observe this issue, it's good. Let's fix the problem now. So go with sudo dnf install info -y. Okay, I think it's older version. I got it now. Sudo yum install info -y. Okay, that fixes. See, the old command was not running because I am running an older RHCL version. That's why. Now it has been installed. Now after installing, I'll try again the command info cp. Now you can see a lot of informations about cp. CP, copy files and directories. A lot of information I can see for the CP output itself now. Clear about info? See, now I can easily use the enter key to open the links. N for next, P for previous, and Q for quit. So that's easy is to use your info button options you're having. That's it. See, info is usually more descriptive, explaining why and how things work, while man focused on what and how to use. Two things. Last one is your help. So I can simply use a command called help button. So example, I want to know mkdir hyphen help hyphen help. Now this shows how to use mkdir, available options, an example. This is very useful when you want to just recall the options quickly and you don't want a full documentation work to be done. Okay. So when I ask you to compare these things, your man gives you a medium level of information. Info means very high level information. Hyphen help means basic or single page information. See, if you're new to start with, start with the hyphen help command. If you want exact syntax, use man. You want detailed explanation, use info. Now let's talk about the system documentation and support resources in RHCL. See, this is one of the most important skills for Linux administrator, knowing where to find information when you get stuck. In Linux, you will notice that every command, packages, and service comes with its own documentation, either in local file or online on Red Hat portal. Talking about local documentation, let's start with the local documentation. The one is available on your local machine itself. Now, slash user slash share slash doc. This is like a library for your installed packages. Every software you install usually places its documentation here only. Example, if you install the bash, you will find a folder called user slash share slash doc bash file. You can see all the information over there. Imagine in a Windows machine, I install a software. It's going to store all the information in C drive, right? Similarly, that here. Now, these contains configuration samples, examples, and even notes. So let's run small command here. cd slash user slash share slash doc. Now, ls. You can see all the file, all the things I have installed. It will be here, all the informations of file. Now, if I want to see the bash one, ls slash grep bash alone. I can see the bash file. So I'll say cd space bash ls. Here you can see my all the files clearly mentioned here. So that's very important. Next is your man page. Man, same like man page and info pages. We already learned, right? Man gives you manual page. Info gives you a detailed GNU style hypertext help. Next is your HC. Very important. See, don't forget the HC or etc file directory. It holds all the configuration file for a system services. Most of them are self-documented. You will see lines starting with hash explaining what each parameter does. For example, I run the command cat slash etc slash sd ssd hyphen perfect. Now you will see comments that explain each setting in the line. That's also part of the documentation. Clear? Now, there comes your official Red Hat documentation. See, when local documentation isn't enough, Red Hat provides official online documentation and support too. So we have redhat.com slash documentation. This is going to give you product guides for every RHCL version. We have Red Hat customer portal, Bugzilla. It is used to report and track software bugs. Red Hat developer portal, free learning materials and forums. See, as an RHCSA admin, you will often refer to these when configuring and troubleshooting your servers. Now, the time comes, let's jump into the real-time example. As I tell again, Network Rhinos offers JYP training. We have theory, lab, real-time scenarios, and interview questions. Let's say we are working on a SC Linux and your service is not starting. Instead of randomly turning SC Linux off, which many admin wrongly do, right? A good admin checks official RHCL SC Linux guide. They will find the correct context type, policies, or even troubleshooting steps. Now, this saves time and you keep your servers and compliant always active. Let's go with the lab activity now. Lab time, guys. Log into your Linux and do with me. I come to the home page. So let's do a small lab. cd/usr/share/doc. Now here I showed you everything, the basic information. So this I will do it again, just for people who have not watched me doing this before. Then I'll go with ls grep bash. I can see my bash file. Then so cd space bash, enter ls. Here you can see a readme file. See a readme file. Let's read it using less command. Less command. Readme. Readme. Okay. And here you can see all the information. FAQ intro articles, blah, blah, blah. For each command, example, all these five identical. So you can see everything one by one. So you can use spacebar to scroll next pages. Q for quit. Let's quit. Done. Okay. See, always check documentation before changing any configuration. You will not only solve problem faster, but also understand why something works that way. In Linux, 90% of your answers are already written. You just need to know where to look into these documentations. Clear? So with that information, we will go with the next slide. That's going to be a recap and a quick quiz. See, all right, everyone. Let's quickly summarize everything we learned from module 1. This was our foundation. Everything we learned from next module onwards, we will build our next step with these basics only. So far, what we learned? We learned about what is RHCL enterprise value. We understand what is Red Hat Enterprise Linux is, an enterprise grade Linux OS built for stability, performance, and security. It's used by top companies like AWS, Azure, major banks because it offers readable updates, certified support, and long-term lifecycle management. Talking about your Linux architecture, we see that we have a hardware, kernel, shell, and user space. The kernel is the brain of that entire machine, controlling how software talks with the hardware. Shell is our user interface where we type in some commands. We also learned some command line basics like ls, cd, pwd, mkdir, cp, mv, and rm. We learned about user management, su versus sudo. Then finally about documentation resources, we explore what is man, info, and help. Talking about your key takeaways, see, always use sudo instead of logging in as a root. Documentation is your best friend. Use man, info, and /user/share/doc as much as possible. Please remember, RHCL we are using is equal to stability plus security plus enterprise level support. And we always use command line for control and automation. So there you go with your practice lab for yourself. You can take a screenshot and start practicing this lab. If you find anything hard in doing this lab, again, make use of the comment section, put it over there. And thank you all. So with this, we are finishing with the module 1 of your Linux. So this course we take in both English and Tamil. உங்களுக்கு class தமிழ்ல வேணும்னா you can tell us, we take the class in Tamil also. So உங்களுக்கு எதனா question இருந்தா கூட kindly linkல comment sectionல மறக்காம போடுங்க. உங்களுக்கு இந்த course useful இருந்துச்சுனா, if you like this particular training is useful, make sure to follow us and put a thumbs up for this button. Put a thumbs up for this particular video. Thank you.